I stood at the altar for 28 minutes. Guests whispered. My best man kept checking his phone. My mom's eyes were locked on mine, silently begging me not to fall apart in front of everyone. But I already had. She never showed up, no call, no message, just nothing. Later that night, I got a text, just 10 words. I can't marry you, my mom thinks he's better. No name, no apology, just silence after that. Her mom had always hated me, said I wasn't rich enough, polished enough, ambitious enough. I thought love would be enough. I was wrong. I left town a week later. Couldn't bear the pity in people's eyes. I'd rebuilt my life, got a new job in another city, started seeing someone casually. I wasn't happy yet, but I was healing. Then she showed up, outside my apartment, standing in the rain, her hair soaked, eyes red, holding a baby wrapped in a faded blue blanket. Please, she whispered, voice shaking. I need your help. I didn't move. The baby stirred, let out a small cry. I'm alone, she said. He left. My mom's disappeared. I don't know who else to turn to. She looked down. I named him after you. I felt the world freeze. I let her inside, made her tea, handed her a towel. She clutched the baby like he was all she had left, and maybe he was. I'm not here to punish you, I said, but I need to understand. She cried, then spilled everything. The man her mom pushed on her. Married, lied about his wealth, disappeared 2 months into her pregnancy. Her mom said she was an embarrassment and blocked her number. I made the worst mistake of my life. She said, but I'm begging you, not as my ex, but as the only man I ever truly loved. Will you be his dad? I stood up without a word and walked into my room. When I came back, I wasn't holding a baby bottle. I handed her an envelope, thick, heavy, stamped. What's this? She asked. Something you never expected, I said. She opened it with trembling hands. Her eyes widened. Inside was the receipt for the engagement ring I never got to return. And a court document, adoption papers, she whispered. No, I said calmly. It's a custody petition. For full custody. I want to raise him, but not with you. She gasped. You gave up on us for someone else's dreams. But this boy, I looked at the baby in her arms. He deserves someone who won't walk away when things get hard. Tears streamed down her face. You said I wasn't good enough. I added, but I'm good enough to be a father. A real one who shows up. She tried to argue, but the truth was she knew. This time, I was the one walking away. Only this time, I wasn't walking alone. I was walking with a future I never planned for, but one I was ready to fight for. She followed me out the door, still holding the baby, still crying. Please, she whispered, don't take him from me. I messed up, but I love him. I turned slowly, my voice steady but low. Then why did you only come when you had nowhere else to go? She had no answer. I watched her cradle him like she just realized how fragile he was, how easy it would be to lose him. I can't undo what I did to you, she said, but I'll do anything now. Let me make it right, let me stay. I took a deep breath. This isn't about you and me anymore. It's about him, and if I'm going to be his father, then everything, his peace, his home, his future, has to be built on truth, not guilt. 3 days later, we sat in a clinic. She agreed to everything, counseling, co-parenting talks, even the DNA test. Part of me didn't want to do it. I wanted to believe her. But another part, the part that stood at an empty altar, it needed proof. The nurse swabbed our cheeks in silence. She kissed the baby's forehead while avoiding my eyes. You're scared, I said gently. She nodded, because I already know what I lost, and I don't want to lose the last part of you I still have. The email arrived just before midnight. I sat up in bed, staring at the subject line. Paternity results confirmed. I stared at those words for what felt like forever. He was mine. My heart ached in ways I couldn't describe. Not because I was angry anymore, but because I realized I'd missed the first kicks, the first cries, the first time he opened his eyes, and not even her lies could steal that pain from me. I called her the next morning. I want him with me, I said. We'll figure out a schedule, but I'm not leaving my son behind. She came over quietly. No drama, no tears, just respect. And when she handed him to me, she whispered, don't raise him to be like me, raise him to be like you. I didn't answer her. Instead, I looked down at the boy wrapped in blue. His eyes were wide open, watching me. I smiled. Hey little man, let's go home. He didn't sleep, not at first. He cried, he kicked. He spit up all over the clean onesie I bought just hours before. But I didn't care. I held him against my chest, rocking him softly in the dim light of my small apartment. His tiny hand wrapped around my finger like it belonged there, like he knew. I whispered stories to him, how I met his mother, how I waited at the altar, how I nearly lost myself. and how he saved me without even knowing it. Your mom may have broken my heart, I said gently, but you, little man, you're the reason it's still beating. 3 weeks later, we stood before a judge. We both agreed, shared custody, parenting classes, and no drama. She looked tired but calm, humbled. Maybe I saw the old version of her in flashes. Before money and pressure turned her heart cold. I just want what's best for him, she said, even if it means he gets more of you than me. The judge nodded. Then co-parenting it is. For now, with full guardianship review in 6 months. It wasn't a win. It wasn't a loss. It was a beginning. That evening, just as I was warming a bottle, someone knocked on my door. I opened it to find her mom standing there. The woman who called me, barely good enough to mow her lawn. Her lips were tight, her pearls perfectly aligned. I heard the baby is yours, she said flatly. Is that confirmed? Yes, I replied, holding the bottle calmly. Your daughter's son, and mine. She stepped forward. I came to talk about his future. I stepped in front of the doorway. His future's already better than you imagined. Ma'am, because you're not part of it. I closed the door slowly. Behind me, my son let out a soft coo. Like he approved. That night, after feeding him, changing him, and holding him until his breathing slowed, I sat by the window with him on my chest. And I cried, for the life I thought I'd have, for the love that betrayed me, and for the little heartbeat asleep against mine. I had no idea how to be a dad, but I knew what it felt like to be forgotten, unwanted, unchosen. And I swore to him right then, you'll never feel that, not once. Not while I'm breathing. Morning light poured in through the blinds. He was still sleeping, his tiny hand resting against my chest like he belonged there. And he did. I kissed the top of his head and whispered, you didn't get here the way I imagined, but I wouldn't trade you for the world. I took the day off work. Didn't matter that my boss might not like it. Some things are more important than deadlines. I registered him at the clinic, picked up diapers, formula, wipes, everything I could think of. And when I walked through the store with him strapped against my chest in a carrier, people smiled. But one woman stopped. She was older, maybe 60, with warm eyes. You look like a good dad, she said gently. I smiled, not out of pride, but relief. Thank you, I said, I'm trying. That evening, my phone buzzed. It was a message from her, my ex. Can we talk, just for a minute? I hesitated, then said yes. She showed up outside the apartment, not dressed up, no makeup, just herself. And for once, she didn't talk about the past. She didn't defend or explain. She just said, I'm sorry for breaking you, for letting my mother control everything, for forgetting that you were the only one who ever loved me just for being me. I didn't say anything for a while. Then I looked her in the eyes and said, I forgive you, but don't ask me to forget. She nodded. I won't. Then she looked at the window, where the baby's mobile was spinning slowly in the light. Take care of him, she whispered, and walked away. Weeks passed. Diaper changes became faster. My fridge looked like it belonged to a toddler. And lullabies, I knew all of them by heart. I'd never been more tired, or more complete. Every night, I'd lay him in his crib, kiss his forehead, and say the same words. You were unexpected, but you were always meant to be mine. And every morning, I'd wake up to the sound of him giggling in his crib, like the world was just beginning again. Because for me it was, not as someone's husband, not as someone's ex, but as someone's dad, the man I was always meant to be.